Hello everyone. Today we are going to build this React online shop called XShop, which is a seed project for a long-running workshop or tutorial. We will add more advanced feature as we go and rebuild the front end and back end and build the front end, back end, and DevOps solution with different tech stacks. Please remember to subscribe and like to receive updates. We will dig much deeper on the technology we are using because I feel it's better to spend more time on one good project than waste time on many beginner tutorials. The seed project is just a starter project based on which we will explore more advanced features, and we won't spend too much time on this seed project as it's a pretty standard React project, just like other crash course out there. So after this, we will start building more advanced features, and we will rebuild this project many times with different technologies, which is very exciting. Before we start, let's take a look at the project we're building today. It's an online shop, but not like other shops. The products in the shop are these NFT tokens. However, we are not connecting to blockchain. It's just we're using the concept and data. Because the data is available everywhere, and these images are more interesting to look at. Here's the pages we're going to build in this project. So we will build this layout with header, footer, and the main content section. We will have this navigation and search bar in the header, and the landing page shows the collection list. We will have a collection page showing token list. We can load more of this token, and we can filter the token based on price and the attributes. In the search bar, we can search for collection by name. We have shopping cart, and we can add the token to shopping cart in this token list. If we go back to shopping cart, we can manage the cart by removing the token we added, and then we can log in and check out. We also have the token details page, and on token details page we can buy the token now, or we can add to cart or remove from cart. If we buy the token now, it will take us to the shopping cart again, and then we can check out. We also have this fake login functionality in the seed project. We can log in. If we are logged in, we can see this profile menu, and from here we can log out. The seed project is kept as simple as possible, as we're going to add more feature to it with the following sessions. Leave a comment below on what are topics you are interested in next. Firstly, let's install the dependencies we're using in this project. Here's a copy of the dependency and their dependencies, and then we can install. Next, let's build our layout and routing. We create a folder called layout. Within layout folder, we create a layout component. Let's put some placeholder code here, and we create another header component and footer. So next, within layout, we're gonna import the header and the footer. And for main content section, we will have outlet imported from the React router DOM. So this outlet is where we render our content components. So we have the simple structure. Next step is to create the router. So this router, we will be using the React router DOM, create browser router, and we'll create this for children. For this path, we will be using a component called landing. So next, let's create a pages folder and create a landing page. The landing page is the page where we display this collection list. So now let's go back to the router and import this landing page. Next, we need to update our app component with the router provider and assign our layout router to the router property. So now we should have this header landing and footer component rendering for our landing page. Next, let's apply some basic CSS to our layout. So firstly, we want the header and the footer to be on the top and bottom, and the content area take up all the space in between. So to do that, we need to make some change to the index.html. So firstly, we will set body to the full screen, and we'll set the root element, which is the React, which is the element we render React application into. It's a flex and flex column, and also with height of 100%. So with this, and next, I want to update this footer. I'll just copy over my footer component, because the footer component is just a combination of different static links, so we don't care much about this footer. If I copy this over, so it looks like this. Cool. This content area is still not pushing the footer to the bottom. So let's see what is missing. So we have index, and then in layout, so we need to set this main section have a flex 1, which means it will stretch and take up all the spaces. Let's take this div off. Cool. Looks all right. And for header, let's apply some basic have to be the height and background. Cool. That's it. So another thing we need to do is to add this index.html to tailwind config file, so that the class we defined in the index.html can take effect. All right, so now that we have the basic layout, and the next step is to create our header and start to build our features. next step, let's build this landing page together. On landing page, we will be showing the collection list. We will build a collection list component and the collection card component. In the collection card component, we will be showing the collection image and other information including title and the tokens and market cap. Firstly, let's create a component called top collections. And next in landing page, we will remove this placeholder code and show the top collections instead. And in top collections, we will have header and a collection list section. So let's add a header first. Top collections. With this top collections container, I want to show this collection in the middle. Before we start building the collection list, we will need some mock data. I've already created mock data and APIs we will be using in the seed project, so I will just copy the tool folder to our project. I copied two folders to the source folder, data and types. Types.ts is where we define all the types we used in this project, including user, collection, and token, and other utility types, such as pagination and filter. In data folder, there are mock data and mock API. By calling the mock API, we can get collections, tokens, token list, and more. You don't need to care about the mock data, and you don't need to change anything in this mock data. With mock data, we can continue building our collection list. Let's create a folder called components. Within components, let's create a component called collection card. Let's go back to the top collections component, and in collection list, we will be rendering a list of collection card. Let's build the collection card component. So basically, we want to show the image of the collection. So we need to have the props. We pass in the props. Let's define the props to indicate collection. We need to read the collection from the here. So we need to define. We also need to define the props here so that the TypeScript can read the props type properly. And in the image, so now in the image we should be showing collection dot we set loading equals to lazy so that the browser will load this image when it is necessary, which will improve performance. We'll apply some class to this image. So let's go back to the collections. So now we need to pass in the collections. Pass in the collection to the collection card component. And remember, whenever we are mapping an array of component, we need to provide a key. So now here we will provide the collection name as the key. So let's take a look at the browser. It's showing a huge image. Let's apply some style to the collection card component. Okay, so firstly, I want this card to be clickable, and it will redirect us to a token, to the collection details page. So I'll wrap this component with a React router, a link component, and it will take us to the collection, and the route should be collection.name, collection name, and it will show wrap this component in. Yeah, we'll have some class applied to this link. image. Now that we've built the landing page, next step is to build the search collection feature. We're able to search the collection by its name. We will build a search bar on the header and the search result page. On the search result page, we will show the collection that match the search input and the random recommendation collection list. Firstly, let's build a search bar on the header. The search bar will have an input and a button. So let's open the header component and add an input next to the menu. Yep, the input should show on the header, and we need a button on the right side of that input. Instead of adding the code to the header directly, we will create a component called search bar, and that so that it can be reused in the future. So let's go ahead and in components folder we'll create a search bar file, and then we will move the input to the search bar, and then we will use the search bar in the header component. So next step is to build the search bar component. So in the search bar we will need an input and a button. So firstly, we will change this div to a form. So we're using form here because when we hit enter in the input element, it will trigger the onSubmit event for the form. So that we only need to handle the onSubmit event in this scenario. So we'll say onSubmit, and we will create a handler. Submit. We'll just leave it empty for now. Yeah, and below the input, we need a button, and we will use a icon in this button. Let's check. All right, let's apply some styles to the input and the button. And the button. Also for form. Cool, it looks good. Next, let's add some properties to the form elements. So firstly, we want the value. Firstly, we need to create a state to hold this value. So we'll say use state search input. The default is an empty string. And then we will set the value to search input and unchange. Yeah, so next in handle submit, we will redirect to a page called search result. So to do that, let's create a navigate from React router, and then we will say redirect navigate to search and search input. Yeah, that's right. And also we need to prevent the default so that it will not try to refresh the page when we submit the form. Formatted. Yeah. Cool. Let's try the browser. So we say, oh, it redirects us to the search result page. So next step is to build this page. So before that, I need to add some more elements to the input. So a placeholder saying search for collections and a array label. Then press enter to search for collections. And for button, it's better to add a label as well. So search items, search for collection. That's fine. Cool. So next, let's build the search result page. In pages folder, we create the search result component. In this component, we will show two sections. So firstly, the search result, and secondly, the recommendation list, recommended collections. To show these two sections, we need to call two mock APIs. The first one is the search collection by name, and the second one is the random collections, which will give us up to 3 random collections, so that we can show on the page. To be able to navigate to this page, we also need to make some change to the layout page and the router. So we will say for search and search input, go to search component, search result component. So if I go back to the page, all right. The next part is build a shopping cart feature. In this part, we will build a shopping cart page, and we are able to add to and delete from the cart. So from this shopping cart page, we can view the list of the items we added to the cart. So there are two places we can add the items to the cart. So we can add the tokens by clicking this icon. So you can see that on the header shopping cart icon, we can show the items count here, and also we can remove the item by clicking the button again. So the second place we can add and remove from the cart is here. So we can add a token and remove from cart on the token details page. So if you open the shopping cart page, we can also remove the items from the shopping cart page itself. And also, if we click on checkout, we will call it fake payment, and we will implement the real payment in the later sessions. First, let's create a context called shopping cart context. So with this context, we enable the different components to access the value and the function within this context. Just say React.create context. We will just give it a value empty. So here we can define a type for a context called shopping cart context type. So in this context, we want to save all the tokens we add to the cart. So we could say cart is a list of token. Okay. And we want to have a total price, and we would able to add or remove from cart, and we want to check if the token is in the cart, and also we want to be able to clear the cart. All right. So here we will just assign this type to the context. So we complain about type none is not assignable to this type. We can make it pass by adding an exclamation here. If we are sure that we will always pass value to the component when it is initialized. We could also do something like this. So it will pass, but it's up to you. Also, we would want to assign a name. Context.display name. So with this name in the debugger tool, we will be able to view the name as with context name as the shopping cart context. All right. So next we will create a provider. So that in this provider, we will just say prompts. We'll just use the prompts for now. And in this provider, we need a state. The first one is cart, which will hold our token list. So, like so. And also, yeah, total is 0. We need to, so next, what's next? Okay. We need to check if the token is in cart. This is in cart. To check. So here we want to create another function called is same token 1 token 2. So return. So here the token ID should be the same, and also the token action address should be same, not ID. Yep. So then in here we could say return find if it's in cart. Return is same token. Yep. Cool. So next, we will create a add to cart function. If it is not in the cart, then we add the token to the cart. That's right. Next, remove from cart. So filter, set cart filter. Yep. For add or remove, then we'll simply check if the token is in the cart. And if it's already in the cart, we will remove the token. And if not, we will add the token to the cart. Clear cart is pretty simple. We just reset the cart list to empty. And also, we will need to we need to be able to calculate the total. So here we want to calculate the total when the card when we add to and remove from the card. So we can use a use effect to do that. And before that, we will create a function called calculate total. Then reduce in here. And the other thing I want to add is we want to set total to total in here. So we will not return. We will say total equals to reduce. If for some reason the price does not exist, we will use 0. Cool. To differentiate, we can rename this to ACC. Cool. Next step is to create a use effect so that we will calculate based on the card. So here we could just say if the length has changed, we will recalculate the total. So next step is to create a value equals to, we will export all the things we need here. And last step is to return this provider. So here, so keep in mind that this value can be optimized by using UseMemo if performance is an issue. So we can wrap this value in UseMemo, React.UseMemo, and also wrap all the functions we're exporting to with the React.use callback. So this way we make sure that only the value in the dependency array change, we will return a new value. Otherwise, we will return the cached one. This will improve our performance. But for the seeding project, the performance is not our concern. So I'm happy with this simple version. So if you want, you can definitely do that. So now that we have this context, the next step is to wrap our app component with this context. So we say shopping cart provider, then wrap this. The last step of creating our context is to create a custom hook use shopping cart, so that we can use this context in the different components wrapped by this context provider. All right, so now that we have our context in place, the next step is to use it. So firstly, we can create a we need to create a icon on the header, shopping cart icon. So click on this icon, will take us to the shopping cart page. And also if we add or delete a item, there will be a number showing beside this icon, showing the item count. All right, so let's open the header component. So we will just need to add a icon below the search bar component in here. I'll just copy over the code and import the icon. So notice we are referencing cart here. This cart is the cart we can import from use shopping cart hook. So now that we have an icon, so we click on this icon, it will take us to the shopping cart page. We will build this page later. All right, so next step is to implement this icon. So instead of open another page, we will want, when we click on this icon, we will want to add this token to the cart. So for this one, let's open the token. It should be the token card component. Then in code token card component, we can find this shopping bag icon. So we will add a on-click handler for this icon. All right, we'll say we need to prevent default, and then what we need to do is to like we did for the header icon, we will add or remove from cart. And in here we will add or remove cart, and we will pass the token in. Let's check. Cool. So we add. We also want to have some styling. So when the token is added, we want to highlight this icon. So let's do that. Add some class to this icon. Now we need to import. Introduce this eSIM card. eSIM card is not. I don't think we exported eSIM card. Okay, eSIM card is a. Here's what we can do. You can say eSIM card equals to eSIM card token. Here. Right. So let's check again. Cool. So now we can add the token on this page. So the next place to add a token to the cart is on the tokens detail page. If we go here, so when we click on add to cart, we will be able to add this token to the shopping cart. So open the token details page. Then we can find a button in here, shopping cart, the shopping bag icon in here. So we'll add a on click to the button here. We will say if it is, let's import. We will use is in cart again. Use shopping cart, and then we will also need it or remove from cart, so that in here you can say if it is not in cart. Yeah, that's it. And in here we will direct to our page is called shopping cart page. Right, let's check. Alright, so this on click handle should be set on the buy now button instead of the add to cart. Alright, so in here when we click on the this one, we will just say add or remove from cart. And in here we will change the text based on if the token is already in the cart. So let's go back to the page. So we'll be able to add to cart and remove from cart on this page now. The next step is to build a shopping cart page. So when we click on this icon, it will take us to the shopping cart page. So let's build the page. So this page is quite tedious. I will just create a page and copy over the code, and we can go through the code together. So shopping cart and ReactXShop. All right, let's take a look at this page. On this page, we have a let me refresh. Okay, I think I'm missing the routing here. If it's shopping cart, then shopping cart page. All right, let's add some item. Cool. So this is our shopping cart page. So on this page, we have two main sections. On the left, we're showing the items we added to the cart, and of course, we can remove any item from here. And on the right hand side, there's an order summary section. So basically, it's showing the total price of the items. So we don't have any shipping and tax fee in our seed project. So this will really be the total price. So when we click on the checkout, we will call basically call a mock payment function and a show spinner, and then it will redirect us to a order complete page that we can build later. All right. Cool. Let's go back to the shopping cart page. Cool. So the code for this page is pretty straightforward. Apart from the layout and stuff, so basically we will take the cart, which is a list of the tokens, and to the price, and add or remove from cart function and click function from our context. So the first thing we will show the list by map through the list of the tokens. So that's why the list is showing here. By clicking on this button, we can remove the item. This is implemented by this button. So on click, we just call the add or remove from cart function. So it's very simple. And also the price is calculated in the context. If we go back to context, so the price is calculated here. So whenever the cart length change, we will recalculate the total price of items in the cart, and we will update the total in this context. So if you're reading total, it will be the latest, the most up to date the total price. So in order summary section, in here, so if we have anything in the cart, we will show this section with price and the button. If we don't have any items, let's remove all of them. And we will show this. It will simply say your cart is empty and you can continue shopping. Click on this one, it will take us to the this landing page. We can start over. All right. So what else? The checkout button is very simple. In here, we will just call the fake payment function. The fake payment function does nothing at the moment because we will implement a real payment in the following session. So for now, it's just a placeholder. So click on this button, we will just show a spinner, and after some time, it will take us to a order complete page, and that's pretty much it. So let's have a look again what we have built for this shopping cart. So firstly, we build a page displaying all the items in the cart, and we can remove items from this page, and we can show the total price for our order, and we can check out and call a fake payment function. Also, on the token list page, we can add and remove tokens to and from the cart, and also we can do that on the token details page.